Good morning, everyone. My name is Alessandro Cesarano and I am a professor of foreign languages. I have been teaching Italian and Spanish at the Florida Southwestern State College since 2019. I believe a global mindset and a globalized curriculum represent a great opportunity to broaden students' horizons and perspectives of a world that is becoming increasingly globalized, multicultural, and interconnected. A world in which I believe it is essential to explore ways to understand and to appreciate other cultures.
Global learning is a high-impact practice, and so you can find that in KU or through the AAC&U. Students are gaining those real-world life experiences, right? So problem-solving, critical thinking skills. And as we move towards a more global society, those are the things that employers and grad schools are looking for. I really believe in this practice. I'm actually taking a group of students to Florence to study intercultural communication. One of the things I'm most excited about is the community engaged partnerships that we're doing. And so I have different impact areas that I've divided the class into, and we're finding nonprofit partners to bring the students with to volunteer. One thing that I think will be really exciting is I found actually a museum that needs English tour guides. So my students will actually be able to tour the museum, get to know the museum a little bit, find out more information, and then they themselves will get to give the tours. So these are just some really cool projects that students can participate in. It helps them to learn from the other societies and really face those real world issues through a different lens. It's a really great reciprocal learning opportunity for our students.
What does globalizing the curriculum mean for engaged learning with students? And how does it help with research opportunities? And how does it help with transdisciplinary communication? Well, a bunch of different reasons. So for example, our FSW in Italy program, when you teach a course here at FSW in Italy, it becomes functionally a different course. Totally different views, new things. If you are teaching here at FSW and you incorporate international affairs, globalization, it also becomes functionally a different course with different opportunities. For example, I teach constitutional law class, and in that class we talk a lot about the marginalization of historically discriminated against groups like African Americans and Native Americans. And we go over certain cases, Brown versus Board of Education, Band of Sioux tribes against the United States, and students learn a lot about how those affect, institutional marginalization of those groups. If you want to internationalize something like that or globalize it, you can talk to students about, for example, Canada, which is very similar to the United States with regards to culture. It's the closest that we have. Canada didn't have slavery. However, they did have indigenous peoples, which in Canada they call First Nations or First Nations people, and they had a similar marginalization through Canadian laws and disenfranchisement. In the United States, to raise awareness to the issues of marginalizing populations here in the US, there's been kind of an outburst lately of interest in this concept of marginalized groups, which led to groups like Black Lives Matter. In Canada, they have a similar issue, but instead of Black Lives Matter, it's related to First Nations people and an organization called Idle No More, with a same concept to raise awareness to how institutional marginalization occurs. So by adding one simple element of study the Canadian development of First Nations and their marginalization and compare it to the United States, you've changed the class.
Well, in my experience, exposing students to a globalized curriculum, an opportunity to have a broader lens other than our local community, It's one of the most enriching experiences I've had as an academic. I've taken students to Nicaragua for classes and also to Italy one year. And I'm always amazed at how the opportunity to experience a new culture, hear different languages, see different things outside of your own local community, accentuates the value of an education at the college level. Students come out with a much clearer understanding of the concepts and theories that we discuss in the classroom, but they get to see it in real life. And as an academic myself, it's been one of the most enriching personal experiences, particularly being able to take students to the country where I was born and see how they can make connections, they can see themselves not only as college students but also as global citizens. I think that's the most important thing, provide opportunities for students to be engaged in a globalized world and community is the most, to me, the most important benefit of having a globalized curriculum.
If we're not preparing students to view their world from a global perspective, if we're not creating a curriculum and experience for students that gets them to understand diverse perspectives, then we're not going to be able to prepare globally competent citizens. That is the main job, I believe, of higher education. We need our graduates to go into the next level of education and be a globally competent citizen to understand their discipline from multiple perspectives. We need to prepare students to go out into the workforce, to be out there serving the needs of the entire globe and to solve global problems. We need to understand that our world not only has blurring boundaries, but the boundaries are becoming non-existent. The way that capital flows across countries, the way that information flows through technology, the boundaries that we once knew or imagined are starting to decrease or not exist. And we're preparing students for that future.